Welcome back to the John Trading channel. Bitcoin is finally beginning to become bullish, starting to break out of this trading range. Plus Ethereum has finally broken out of this trading range and we're getting these positive ticks to the upside on the MACD histogram. Plus I have a lot of crypto news to go through with you today, so make sure you stay tuned until the end of the video. If you haven't already, leave a like on the video, make sure you're subscribed and leave a comment if you're enjoying these daily crypto videos. First, to begin the crypto news, Hong Kong is to let retail buyers finally buy Bitcoin again from June 1st. We're currently a week away from June 1st, and this looks like the bullish momentum that we finally need to push positive in the market. If you remember, a few years ago, China actually banned retail investors from buying Bitcoin, but they finally decided that now is the time to allow retail investors to begin buying Bitcoin again. So let's go into this next massive Bitcoin bull run. Next, moving on, it seems like Bitcoin and altcoins have been pretty volatile this year, but the 2-week Bollinger Band width says otherwise. Crypto Bollinger Band volatility remains at depths not seen since 2015, right before the massive 2016-2017 bullish run. So we have compression that then leads to the next parabolic expansion. Clicking on this chart, you can see back in this 2015 area, we had this compression between the Bollinger Bands before we had that massive bull run. You can also see that we began having a bit of compression back in 2020 before again we had that massive bull run. But you can see what's happening right now. There was an expansion and now we're actually compressing with these Bollinger Bands, now looking to make massive bullish pushes to the upside. I'm extremely bullish on Bitcoin. You want to begin being bullish now before the price of Bitcoin goes up 5 and 6 times and it's already too late. Next, we have Bitcoin on an adjusted log time. Time equals logs times week to the power of 3.44. Next period meets at 120 to 180K in December of 2023. So we could see the massive bull run occurring by the end of this year. So what this is showing is from the height of every bull run to the next height of the next bull run is a 10.2 log periods. And you can see that happened again right here where we had from the high to the high was another 10.2. And look at what's happening now. We had that 10.2 actually looking to reach by the end of December 2023. So I'm extremely bullish on Bitcoin and the entire crypto market. Plus, we only have 334 days until the next Bitcoin halving. The halving event is usually a massive bull run for Bitcoin right before the halving happens. And we only have roughly 180 to 200 days until the end of the year. So this could be what the catalyst will be for the next massive bull run in Bitcoin. So it looks like this is going to be another massive catalyst for the Bitcoin bull run, as has happened multiple times in the last bull run and the bull run before. Every time we get this Bitcoin halving, there's a massive Bitcoin bull run right before and also after. Now coming over to the Bitcoin price, you want to stay tuned until the end of the video because the 4-hourly on Ethereum and Bitcoin is going to be the most important chart you're going to see in a very long time. But first, let's begin on the daily. You can see that Bitcoin has been at these support areas. We then had this massive breakup, came back to these support areas in here, and we had this strong wick to the downside. But since it never closed on its low, it was quite a bullish bar as we closed back in that support range. This was actually the end of the 60-day Bitcoin cycle. As I've been saying in most videos, that this was the end of the 60-day cycle. The last 60-day cycle was right-hand translated, which gives us a higher probability of the next cycle also being to the positive side. Plus, we also have some great announcements like China allowing retail investors to buy into Bitcoin. So that could be the buying catalyst that we finally need to now push up over to $32,000 from Bitcoin. So that would be over a 20% gain if we can get back up to the $32,000 of Bitcoin level, which I definitely think is going to happen in this next short-term run. Let's move over to the 4-hourly chart. Plus, we've finally seen that the MACD histogram has begun ticking to the upside, and now is when we're going to see a lot of bullish momentum, as we had over 9 days of continued bullish momentum as the volume was more buyers than there was sellers in this trading range area. Now on the 4-hourly chart for Bitcoin, you can see that we were in this symmetrical triangle, and now we're finally beginning to break out of this symmetrical triangle. Look what's happening now. We got this breakout. This was acting as resistance, resistance, resistance. What happens when we get the breakthrough? It's now going to act as support, as is happening right now, acting as support in this area before we then get that major push to the upside. We've also got the exponential moving average, working in our favor as it's looking like it's supporting in what I like to call the value zone between the medium and short-term EMA. Right in here, you can see there are a lot of buyers, and we broke out in this apex of the triangle. So looking for that massive $32,000 per Bitcoin push just in the short term before we then rocket and look for $100,000+ per Bitcoin. And regardless of this symmetrical triangle, we have been in this trading range. People have been buying low and they've been selling high in these areas. The reason being is back in this area through here, you can see the EMA, which is this orange line, was sloping to the downside, which means that there's high probability of trades continuing to the downside. But what's happening in this area? We're getting sideways, slightly up, slightly down EMA reaction. So that meant all through this area, we were in a trading range, and a lot of people were buying in this bottom area of the trading range and looking to sell in the top area of this trading range. The reason that they weren't expecting massive pushes to the upside to then break that high again was because of this EMA. It's showing that we're in a trading range. When we're in a trading range, buy low, sell high is the strategy until we finally get that breakout to the upside. So we have got the breakout on the symmetrical triangle, but we haven't quite broken out of the top side of this trading range just yet. So we're looking to get that really solid break to the upside, then come back and retest this area through here as it was solid. We had resistance, resistance, resistance. Once we get that breakthrough, it will then flip of a support level, price will come back down, retest before we then rocket to the upside. Now coming over to Ethereum on the daily time frame. This looks even more bullish than Bitcoin. As you can see, we actually broke out of this trading range area on Ethereum and we're now traveling above the EMA. You can see that we haven't been above this EMA area for a long time. Back here on the 3rd of May, which was the beginning of the month, every time we've been below, we're using it as resistance, 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 resistance. We've now finally broken out of that resistance level. And what happens when a resistance gets broken? It then acts as a support. So we're going to get these solid moves to the upside, come back, retest this EMA as it starts to travel to the upside. And then we get that huge rocket breaking this high through this area. The reason that this support area was so strong is because of this region through here. You can see resistance, resistance, resistance. Then what happens? We get a breakthrough above resistance. We come back, we retest this resistance, now flipping as a support level, getting solid breakups to the upside. Then now it's again a support level, support level. Price tried to break down below this level, but it wasn't able to. If we closed on its low right here, that would be bearish for Ethereum and Bitcoin, but we didn't. We closed back in this trading range area, which shows that the support level was holding extremely nicely. Plus, this MACD is even more bullish than Bitcoin is. We've finally got 2 ticks to the upside, as I've been speaking about for multiple weeks. We needed to wait for these ticks to the upside before it's truly showing us that we're getting huge buying momentum compared to the selling momentum. Through here, it was close to a 50-50 market, but you can see that it was a little bit more weighted to the upside because we're getting downside, upside, 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 upside. So through here, we were having continuous downside volume, whereas now, after it changed from red to white, it signals to us that we're getting that constant buying pressure compared to selling pressure. There are more buyers in the market than there are sellers in this market. Now coming over to the 4-hourly chart for Ethereum. Again, back in this area here, we had the EMA sloping to the downside, which gives us the high probability trades in that area of being to the downside. But through here, we've had that sideways EMA until we finally got this solid break above. And you can also see that we've been in support, support, support. In this area, people were trading range price action. People were buying low in this area, then looking to sell high, sell high, sell high. All in these areas, people looking to sell. But look what finally happened. We've got resistance in this area. We finally got that breakthrough above resistance. Like I was talking about in yesterday's video, I was telling you to keep a keen eye on Ethereum. And right when I ended the video, we literally got that massive rocket to the upside of over 2 to 3% right here. So I already know that once we break this resistance level in this area, it's going to then act as support. Price might come down into this area through here, not only use this exponential moving average as a support level, as you would know, this medium term and short term EMA right in between these prices is known as the value zone. So when price comes back into this area through here, people are going to be buying, but that has confluence in the market. Confluence means that there's multiple strategies working in your favor. So we've got this support, that we've got this resistance level that is now flipped to a support level. So, and we've also got this positive EMA value area in here. So when price comes back into this area, not only are we retesting the resistance that then flipped as support, we're also retesting the value zone on the exponential moving average. And that's probably going to be the best time to enter on Ethereum and a lot of these altcoins before we get that massive rocket to the upside for Ethereum, at least breaking these highs through here. Look at the price now. That would be an over 15% gain, but I don't think that we're going to stop there. This could be the last run that you're going to see to the downside before we get that massive rocket to the upside, potentially $3,000, $4,000, and $5,000 per Ethereum plus. So you need to be watching, and this area through here is going to be one of the trades of the year. Easy to have a perfect stop loss below the bottom of this trading range using roughly a 3% stop. Then you look for that 20 to 30 to 50% gain. Even if we just retest this high back here at 15%, using a 3% stop loss with a 15% profit target is a 5 profit factor. That's massive in the market. If that only has a 50-50 chance of happening, which I do think it has a higher probability than that. If it just has a 50-50 probability, plus using a 5-to-1 profit factor, that's massive in the trading market. You need to understand that your trader's equation is going to be massively positive. And if you were to take this trade 1,000 times, you're not going to win every single one. But when you do win, you're going to win a massive amount more than when you lose. So personally, I'm getting ready to get in this area, waiting for the retest of this resistance that flipped as support, then also coming into this 4-hourly valley area for Ethereum. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure if you haven't, leave a like on the video, make sure you're subscribed, and leave a comment if you're enjoying these daily crypto videos. I'll see you in the next video.